Wow, the Planet Hank live show, which is crazy because we are not live up on Facebook. We are literally just live on YouTube, X, and Twitch, which kind of puts a hamper on things, but it is what it is. We will continue on and do whatever we want to do. We are not going to let them destroy our fun. The Brattleboro News Recap Show, the greatest live entertainment you've ever had, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. We're out here. I'm drinking iced coffee. I set the mood. Tell me where you're watching from. If you're tuning in, drop a comment in the comment section. I'm going to pull it up on good old Planet Hank up on YouTube. There it is. As always, I can leave comments. We're going to be discussing a number of the very finest news videos that I have been able to record over the last couple weeks. I haven't been on here in a couple weeks because my account got blocked because of sharing a reel that had drug usage in it. And so now my thing's suspended for 30 days for just going live, which I think is ridiculous because we're out here doing whatever we want anyway. Let me go ahead and do this real quick, though. I am going to pull this out. I'm going to share this, copy the link. I'm going to share this over to our friends in Facebook who are absolutely 100% unable. We are live on YouTube because Facebook is scared of the live show. Hashtag banned. So I just shared that over there. Mark Fellows watching from Putney. What up? Everybody in the chat, go ahead and throw up where you're watching from. I am watching, who would have guessed it? I'm watching all the way over in Brattleboro, Vermont. The greatest community on the planet. Brattleboro's finest podcast ever, the Brattleboro News Recap Show. So, we all know that everybody loves this show, but let me go ahead and put a little warning out there. We are not a place to go if you are faint of heart. If you are going to get upset and freak out and be all triggered and go over into your liberal groups and complain about me, I think that you ought to rethink watching this show. This is for entertainment purposes only. On this show, I'm allowed to basically have a little bit of fun, do a little bit of teasing, etc., etc. But here it is, a trigger warning. This content may be considered graphic to some audiences. For entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. It's sad that we got to put that out there, but for real, that's the way it seems these days. Let me go ahead and remove that. Put myself back up there, okay? And we're watching. So today's video, we're going to hop right into. We all know the rules on Planet Hank. We play a video. I let you guys comment on its
Breaking
entirety.
news.
And yeah.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com. Tonight's story comes from Groundworks on South Main Street in Brattleboro, Vermont, where police received a report of a shooting. Brattleboro police responded with multiple officers and found a man sitting on the doorstep of the drop-in center at Groundworks who was holding his stomach and told officers he had been shot. Brattleboro Fire were cleared for safety and showed up with an ambulance and a ladder truck and transported the man to Brattleboro Memorial Hospital to be treated for a gunshot wound to his abdomen.
What does the guy look like? You don't know?
What happened?
Just keep
Fucking bastard, dude. Stabbed? No, shot across the street.
Dispatch.
All right, what happened? So with what? Hold on. Sister.
The wound to his stomach was very small and appears to be from a caliber firearm, but we have no information to confirm that, and this incident is still under investigation. I was able to get a comment from Detective Lieutenant Eaton of the Brattleboro Police Department.
Saturday, May 3rd, 2025, Brattleboro Police responded to South Main Street for a report of an injured person. On arrival, they located a male victim that had an apparent gunshot wound in his abdomen. It is unknown what made that projectile injury at this point. The incident remains under investigation. The male was transported to the hospital for his injuries, and his current condition is unknown at the time, but it's believed that he's stable and will recover. Isolated incident time, reason to believe that there is further threat to the public. But again, their investigation remains open. And as details become available to the public, they will be released.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and
Have it. Like, are you kidding me? That's what I'm saying. Like, are you freaking kidding me, man? Back up like that. Bow and full screen. There we go. Like, okay, so we saw my whole reality show, Compassion is a Drug. Episode 1 is out, and episode 2 is in production. All the interviews are done. Bits and pieces are getting made, and now I just got to assemble it, and we're in for episode 2. So that's coming, and I know you guys are going to be super excited about that one. But I'm telling you like this. I went out, I did that whole episode 1. He goes, love the episode, Hank, Hannah Banana. Yeah, thank you. And all the way on X, X is fastly becoming the only place you can watch anything with free speech because people are, let me see what's going on here. Let's join. Let's go in the live chat on X. Oh, yeah, love the episode, Hank. Here we are, live up on X. Boom. We love X, okay, and YouTube. We're live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and X right now. Facebook gave us the boot for putting that episode out. So episode 2 is more of the same. But I'm out here telling people all the time. It's like, okay, so all that stuff I said about Groundworks, and everybody's complaining about it. And then within 4 days of that episode being dropped, they have a shooting on the doorstep of Groundworks. Like, I mean, how much more could I say, oh, I called it. Okay, I called it, you know? And in that episode, I revealed how basically the employee, Tessa, she was like, well, they're basically operating a safe injection site, even though they don't have permits or approvals or any oversight on the site. They're basically letting homeless people shoot up inside the facility, saying stuff like, oh, well, it'd be better for them to be in here than it would be for them to do it on the streets. And using that type of logic, which is crazy to me that we're allowing that to happen. Leave a comment if you have anything to add into that. Up in Vermont, here, we are dealing with a public safety crisis. We're dealing with a crack epidemic, fentanyl epidemic. We have full-blown opioid crisis. We have all kinds of crap happening. And so what is Burlington doing? Burlington is quickly creating plans to have this huge safe injection site. The first safe injection site legally in the state of Vermont is due, and they're processing it with $1.1 million from the opioid settlement funds, and they're going to put it into Burlington. And we usually have our governor, Phil Scott, usually goes ahead and vetoes, but he did not veto this time. And this is where so many people in Vermont are like, dude, he's a Republican, but he's a rhino. Like, he's literally in their pocket. He never stands up for any of the party's desires or ideals or anything. He always bends to these progressives in our state that are just choosing this most ridiculous stuff. So there was this video that came out, and I tried to find a version that I could put on here tonight, but I can't. It's on Twitter, but it shows the inside of one of the safe injection sites in Vancouver, and it just looks like a trap house. It's just like this place. It's got graffiti all over the walls, and they're just laying around in there like it almost looks like a jail. They're like laying around, shooting up in these beds and all these crazy rooms. You can wind around. There's all this graffiti on the walls. And it's just like, this is what you guys' big plan is. This is not treatment. This is not a solution. A safe injection. They're just like, but they could save someone's life. What? By having them inject themselves and create a drug habit? What about when it's not open? What about when they're not at that site and they've increased their addiction onto dangerous opioids? There's no treatment. There's no solutions in sight. The rehabs are too expensive and too few of them exist. And now we're just going to allow them to have a place to go shoot up. It's ridiculous. And Stay Calm, Don't Panic over on Twitch says it's enabling them. Obviously, everybody knows that. We're obviously enabling them. She goes, okay, so here's a comment about Groundworks all the way from X. My friend Hannah Panana, she writes, Groundworks has made very few safety improvements, either in policy or infrastructure. The axe murder a few years ago. They don't care about the people who work there subsequent to the axe murder. Now, here's the thing. In episode 2, I have some more documents. Now, my Freedom of Information Act request was not just the 4 pages that I showed you in episode 1. The information will continue to flow throughout the series. Okay? And they refuse to have safety infrastructure put in place. It's not a question of they refuse it. Everybody said you need metal detectors, you need to be searching people, you need to have a security guard. They said no. Not that we can't afford it, blah, blah, there's other concern. Nope. It's no, we don't want one. And there's emails, and literally they do not want any security in place because they feel that that is treating homeless people like it's inhumane. Like, just because you're homeless doesn't mean you need to have security. That's ridiculous. You just had one of your employees hacked to death with an axe. you had a shooting on the doorstep. You're having overdose after overdose after overdose, let alone fights, let alone sexual assaults, let alone all kinds of stuff happening. It's a no-brainer. And they're so worried about holding the progressive line, so to speak, that they can't even function. They can't even function. So we're picking up some steam over on X. Everybody who's watching an X, please follow my page. I own Brattleboro News. I make the best news in all of Vermont, soon to be taking over the world. So we just watched a video about the shooting out front of Groundworks. I'm taking questions if anybody has a question about what happened to me. And let me tell you some of the back end of this story. So I had a big pan of sub sandwiches that were donated to me. One of my buddy's restaurants had a bunch of extra sandwiches that they were like, okay, do you want to give these to homeless people or whatever, because we're going to throw them out. And I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So I took them and I was handing out sandwiches. Something that I do quite often is get people food and help them with drinks and stuff like that. And I don't always talk about it. And people think that I'm this evil man and Hank's the worst thing ever. I'm a Nazi and a racist. We'll get into that later. So I'm handing out sandwiches, and so I see this guy I know. His name's Manny. That's who you saw in the video who got shot. So about 4 or 5 minutes before the shooting, I saw Manny and gave him 3 sandwiches. Okay, so he was literally sitting outside Groundworks and was eating the sandwiches when he got shot in the stomach. So I don't know what caused it. I had just driven away. And when the calls came in over the scanner, I was like, whoa, what's going on? And I was actually discombobulated by the whole thing because I had just left there, and I was like, it can't be right there. I was just there. Political Graffiti writes, how is Groundworks funded? Cutting the funding will affect change. So they are funded through our town budget, okay? They get upwards of $75,000 a year from the town of Brattleboro, Vermont. They get about $3.6 million in total funding. And that's from private donors. That's from grants. That's from whatever avenues that they can. So if we're serious about cutting down on the corruption and the scandalous behavior with these nonprofits, basically what I am doing with my reality episodes, exposing this, pulling their documents, documenting all the bad behavior, the overdoses, the arrests, the fights, the assaults, the sexual assaults, all the things that go along with this facility. I'm hoping that we can get some eyeballs to open up, some people to wake up, okay, and see that, okay, do we need a homeless shelter? Yes. Do we need a progressive activist think tank, like a headquarters, a place for them to basically try to drive home an activist progressive narrative and try to fund their little agendas and their pet projects like safe injection sites and Narcan and no security and all this housing first, like all of their ideas. They sort of use these nonprofits as their headquarters, their meetups. Like, how many meetings at one of these facilities has to do with specifically helping the homeless people with every single dollar that's donated and granted and given to the homeless people who need it? And how much time is spent on activism, organizing, trying to get more money, trying to push an agenda? And I feel like that's very important for people to pay attention to. Like, are they just handing out sandwiches, or are they sort of trying to turn it into this, liberal haven for themselves, And that seems to be what a lot of these people in this community are complaining about. Okay, and they need to listen to us. Like, they act like they don't have to listen, and they operate this building like it's a fortress. They don't want police in there. They don't want media in there. They don't want any attention at all. They don't like anybody who's not a progressive, and they button it up. And, in the first episode, I was showing how they would show favoritism. They would hide overdoses. It depended on who you were, whether they called 911 or not. Now, in the first episode, I show documents about how a woman hung herself at Groundworks, went unconscious, okay? She was unconscious, and the workers did not call 911. They have such a problem with calling police and calling whatever that they always try to just call the social workers. So they called HCRS social workers to respond to a woman committing suicide, attempting to commit suicide, and hanging herself unconscious, which is ridiculous. It's completely negligent conduct. You put that woman at risk. Like, what if she had died? What if she had some sort of failure in organs? What if she had brain damage? All kinds of stuff that you need a paramedic, a doctor, a qualified medical professional to diagnose. But instead, we're playing activists because we hate the cops and defund the policemen. So, like, just, we don't want to get in trouble, because the more problems they have at the facility, the more their funding comes in to scrutiny from people in the town, and people are less likely to donate, and they don't want bad press. The woman Tessa, who was speaking on my video, she was very clear about that, and there is a ton more coming up in episode 2. So the plan for episode 2 is to expand on what I've done in episode 1. It's not just going to be basically like completely everything new. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you guys a little sample. Episode 2, there's going to be a ton of stuff that like Tessa, Brendan O'Brien, Phyllis, everybody who spoke in the first episode, there is a lot more coming from them, but they are going to take a secondary role to all of the new interviews and new people that I have. So as this series continues, you're going to get way more characters. More and more people are going to show up and expand on the topics and back up everything that we're talking about and the claims we're making and everything like that. But you're not going to lose the characters from episode 1. You're going to hear, because their interviews are, very long, and I have so much more from them. But I want to expand my characters into a ton more people. So, it's going to get very interesting. And the way I'm editing it is all interconnecting all their stories. So it all goes in the right direction, and they all are going to help paint the story. So here's a little sample from the show. Here's the intro. I love playing this. I think it came out really well. With Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com.
Earth my wrist! Earth my wrist! Earth my wrist! You fucking
What's up? It's Hank. This is my show. Thanks for watching. During this show, I'm going to introduce the town of Brattleboro, Vermont, and talk about some of the things that we're facing as a community. So there it is, really. That's the intro to the show. There's a ton of it. I mean, the episode's 35 minutes long. There's my boy Mike Kanowski. He writes, and every single one of these is Hank's fault, too. Yes, that's the trend these days in progressive la-la land, is that anything, any bad press, any mistake that any of these people make, it is always someone else's fault. It's got to be my fault. It's always my fault. He goes, Hank starts reporting, and the whole town got hooked on dope because of it. It's crazy shit. Political Graffiti says, nice work. You can find the full episode over on YouTube and on my Facebook. There's a entire, and I'll play a little bit more right here for you. So I'm just going to pop this in. And we'll play a little more and give you a sample of
about the downtown safety action plan. And people are trying to push back against the new substation that was proposed and voted in by Select Board.
My name is Tessa Carey. I was born in Greenfield, Massachusetts, but I've always coincided in Brattleboro, Vermont for about the last 15 years. And my free time outside of being a mom of two, I mainly focus all my free time on mental health with adults and children. I'm currently in school for psychology and addictions and mental health.
Okay, so I had the opportunity to interview Tessa Carey, a worker at Groundworks Collaborative.
And I found it deep in my heart, very deep in my heart, to find a way to give back. So I started applying around mental health resource things, and I thankfully found Groundworks of Brattleboro, Vermont. And I started there in about October of 2024, and I was ecstatic. It was very exciting for me.
In this Freedom of Information Act request that I have, I'll be showing all kinds of documents that show this long history of anti-police rhetoric that these people from Groundworks have. They literally have thrown officers off the property. They've refused to accept homeless people, and just because they were dropped off by police. Now, why did they come after me? Why did they go after the police department? Because at the root of all their intentions is their desire to defund the police and basically snatch the police budget and suck it into the human services companies or nonprofits that they all work for or they all have some sort of stake in the game for. So I will set the stage with, I sort of set the stage with the whole thing. So if you're interested in it, which I'm assuming that a lot of you will enjoy that, I suggest you head over to my YouTube and share that up. It's so important for like-minded people to stick together and support each other during saying the right stuff, during standing up for the truth. So many times in Vermont, the progressives just bowl right over. And in this country in general, there's a lot of places that are, like he's saying, Brattleboro is a George Soros cesspool. Seriously, it's exactly right. Okay, we are number one in the country for our increase in homelessness at 212%. Okay, the idea that this stuff is California based or Oregon, it's not the truth. Vermont is sleepy and quiet and people don't suspect it, but that it's also very poor. We have 3 electoral votes, so we don't get a lot of national attention. And in that, I feel like a lot of people who have been trained in California and Oregon and other liberal hellholes, they've targeted Vermont because its weakness and its inability to really stick up for itself and it doesn't get a lot of press. If you look at the landscape here for what press is in place, we have virtually no conservative media outlets at all. We have like the Daily Chronicle, we have Planet Hank, Brattleboro News. I don't even know of any other ones. I don't even know. Like, if you, like, we are completely saturated with news sources that will push and play the progressive agenda, and even places like the Brattleboro Reformer, which aren't necessarily even like completely liberal. I mean, they're liberal, but they, you know, try to do that like middle of the road thing. But they will cater to protests and anything that's going on. So they kind of like play that like, well, you know, we don't want to take sides, but like if you guys are doing it, and then they do a lot of coverage for very, very progressive stuff. And so it is what it is. Larissa Rose writes, great episode. Can't wait to see the next one. Episode 2 is well on its way. And I'll be honest with you guys, this week, I had a whole bunch of technical difficulties. Tons of it. Like, first of all, shout out to my boy Jeff Bush at Cherokee Diversified. He bought me my scanner, and I had been using that scanner for the last 18 months to make the Brattleboro News. It blew up my business. It got me in this niche. I've been able to function because of it. The scanner broke. The scanner got wet like whatever 30 to 60 days ago, and then I dried it out and it was fine and everything, and then it just sort of progressively stopped working as good. And then over the last week or so, 2 weeks, it died completely. And I'd been messing with it and tinkering with it, and then I'd get it to get a little signal, and I had dead spots, and then there's been some communications issues here in town. And so I finally had to buy a new scanner, and it works great. So I've been able to get arrest videos today. I've been able to do several different things, and I'm back in business, which allows me to get a lot of the content that I need to make the reality show. But it also had me down in the dumps for the last week or so. I've been like, oh, what the hell, dealing with this, like trying to YouTube tutorial, all kinds of information about my scanner. It's been a pain in the ass. So I'm back in business. And episode 2 is well on its way. So moving on, let's go ahead and take a peek at this week's weather coming up. Thursday, rainy today, 73. It's kind of warm out. Friday, tomorrow, 78. Going to be real hot. Saturday, rain, 72. Sunday, 65, rain. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the temperature drops down a little bit. 60s, 59, 58. Cloudy. No sun. No hope. Mud season in Vermont. It's awful. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? We just got rain all week. Jesus. But I'm back at it. I've been running around with the scanner, making news. I got some more content on the way. I've been writing articles. I haven't written an article in a little while, but you're going to be seeing that because I have some topics that I want to cover. And I've got some exciting news. Let me go ahead and set the mood real quick, though. And this is an opportunity for me to celebrate my very best supporters. People, like I said, Jeff Bush, Cherokee Diversified, DR Roofing Solutions, my original sponsors. They're always been supporting me over here at the Brattleboro News. Huge shout out to you, Jeff. I know you're watching over on YouTube. Shout out to the little old Brattleboro News. Everybody said I was crazy. Sure seems to be working out. And I've been like a lightning rod coming after public safety, speaking up, being an activist. You know you're doing it right when all they do is obsess and complain about you. And I'll tell you like this, huge shout out to King's Electric, the best electrical contractors in all of Vermont, in this whole region. residential and commercial. Give them a call or give them an email. Absolutely love the support that I get from King's Electric, the best company. If you got any electrical needs, wiring jobs, anything you want done, hit them up. Definitely recommend these guys. Huge shout out to Kresge's Alignment up on Canal Street. Mike is dope. He is such an amazing mechanic. Any problems with your car, anything that you need serviced, pull it in there, get it done. Tell them that Planet Hank sent you. The Brattleboro News sent you in there. Let's load them up with business. This guy's not even a Trump supporter, but what he is not is he's not a little girl. He's not a little baby about it. He said, I'm never going to let someone tell me where I can spend my advertising dollars, who I can support. He's like, I don't even care. Rod's Towing and Repair, the only 24/7 towing company and gas station in Putney, Vermont. This is a family-run business. The whole family works there, and they are great. Okay, they take such good care of their customers, and they're huge supporters of the Brattleboro News. And I'm very, very proud to have them as a sponsor. And here's my newest sponsor, MOB, Michael Bryan Pilot Car LLC, MOB. Okay, and so it's so amazing when we get new sponsors to pop in and support us and love everything that we do. And this guy is awesome, Michael Bryan, Pilot Car LLC. Huge shout out. If you have any big stuff that you want to get towed, hit him up. He's right there in Putney, Vermont. All these companies are Vermont companies, and they service the region into New Hampshire, Mass, wherever. But it's very important that I'm telling you like this, we all got to support each other. We really got to support each other in this. You can't just, why bother? Why bother showing up to vote? The progressives are going to win no matter what. Oh, I don't want to get in trouble at work. I don't want to say how I feel because progressives are going to yell at me and get mad. Who cares? Let them yell. Even if they beat us in the elections, you still show up and fight and say what you know the truth is and continue along that path. It doesn't matter if they all go in and stack up and beat everybody. The problems are here. This place is breaking down because of their choices. We need to stick together and create a group, even if it takes 10 years to build up enough to actually win some elections and make them get out. Their actual results are what we are basing our message off of. You have failed. These ideas are terrible. Look around at what's happening. We want to do this and say the truth, the common sense, the regular stuff. Like, bro, we want some cops. No, we don't want injection facilities. No, we don't want the kids dealing with weird gender-based ideology crap in school. No, we don't want to send millions of dollars to nonprofits that are shady as hell. We don't like all this crazy activism up on the bridges and protests every day. Like, we're going to support the flag. We don't turn it upside down. We're going to support the president. Like, I don't know, the regular stuff. It's important, and we all stick together. So watch this little video.
A live show is the absolute best online experience available. Nothing makes liberals more angry.
But Hank doesn't say what we want him to say.
Nobody cares what you want.
He makes me so mad.
More arrests. More action. More shaved heads.
I am going to shave my head.
More angry leftists. Planet Hank is changing the world for the better, and they can't stand it.
I hate Hank, but he doesn't care that I'm offended.
The pit of Brattleboro is worse than it's ever been. Crime is up 30%. Drugs are being injected. Cops are everywhere. but the zombies never die. Be sure to share Planet Hank with all your friends. Don't be a little bitch about it.
Don't be a little bitch about it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, the Planet Hank live show, changing the world for the better. Everybody knows that. So we've been dealing with a lot lately. This next video is very tragic. I'm sad that I have to report on stuff like this. It's not always easy. This video was out of control. There was a lot of stuff that happened. I don't think that everybody was prepared for this video to happen the way that it did. I guess I'm just going to show it and let everybody see it and comment on it. There's a lot going on, so enjoy it.
Breaking news.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com. Tonight's story comes from Putney Road towards Dummerston, where Brattleboro police conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle. During the officer's investigation, he noticed probable cause to ask for consent to search the occupants and the vehicle, or he would seize them and file for a search warrant through the court.
Why don't you stand for me? Like, take a half a step back with your feet on it. Do you have any needles on it?
No.
Nice.
I had a knife, but I don't think it's on me. It was in my right pocket.
It was in your right pocket?
Yeah.
Is it like a folding knife?
Yeah. It was,
it would be closed, right?
Yeah.
After the vehicle operator gave consent for a search of his person and was cleared, he crossed the road to wait for the search of the other occupants to be completed.
Sorry. Also, what's the mushroom thing that's back on?
The mushroom is THC.
THC?
Yes. There's baking sodas in my bag. Oh, yeah.
I just want to make sure.
At that time, a vehicle headed southbound on Putney Road from Dummerston struck the man at a high rate of speed and threw him several feet into the embankment.
Connecticut, we need rescue, 1050, 1050.
Help me! Give me fuck up! Give me fuck up! Don't move!
Vehicle versus pedestrian.
Oh my God, why are you doing this to me?
It's all right, babe. It's all right. Get down.
Help! You just got fucking whacked. The fucker just ran right off.
The man was injured and the scene was very intense as Officer Turner of the Brattleboro Police Department rendered immediate care and called for paramedics. Brattleboro Fire quickly responded and transported the man to Brattleboro Memorial Hospital for treatment. It is unclear of the extent of the injuries at this time. The operator of the vehicle which struck the man was screened for impairment, and she consented to a breathalyzer test, which showed a 0.00 blood alcohol level, and she was cleared. Unfortunately, the officers had to continue their search for narcotics and seize the vehicle. I will have to follow up on the story when and if the warrant is executed. I was able to get a comment from Captain Petlock of the Brattleboro Police Department.
Brattleboro Police initiated a motor vehicle stop on Route 5 just north of the Brattleboro line in Dummerston. Upon conducting their investigation, they released one subject in the vehicle at the scene. After being released, the person was later struck by a vehicle on Route 5. Officers rendered aid to the subject until Vermont State Police arrived on scene and investigated the crash. Brattleboro officers remained on scene and continued their investigation until the initial incident.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com.
So there you have it. That was so weird. And I'll tell you like this, when he was screaming out like that, I felt so bad for him. People, let me read some comments. He goes, what up, 802 in the house? What up, Todd? He says, let's hope that this doesn't affect his rap career. He goes, I can only see Milk's comments. Now, we have two YouTubes is why. We have Planet Hank and we have Brattleboro News. So I don't know which one you're watching on, but there's two. He goes, never mind, that leg looks fucked. Yeah, his legs are broken. Like, he got hit hard. I'll tell you like this. I'm filming. They're searching the purse or whatever. Corey, the girl there, he says, Jose Rodriguez writes, Corey got that baking soda. Wink, wink. Yeah. So, like, we're searching and we're dealing with that. And all of a sudden, I just hear, boom. And we're like, what the fuck was that? And then you just hear him go, oh, from across the road. And it's like, what the fuck? All my senses were wrong. I took me a minute and I clicked the record and ran over there. And, man, he got hit. I saw him flying through the air. I couldn't get the camera on it fast enough. He had cans of beer in his pockets, all smashed, and he went to take them out and cut his hand. It was bad. And then his legs were busted and everything. And again, they were like, why was he waiting to cross there? Basically, there was too much happening. There wasn't enough cops. He probably shouldn't have been allowed to go over there, but the cop did not want him going back near the police car because he wanted to search it for drugs. So it seemed like, okay, get him out of here. He'll go over there up on the embankment or some shit. And, I don't know. There was a lot going on, and we could have used some more. She goes, did you get shut down on Facebook? Is that why you're here? Yes. He goes, well, he was flying, that's for sure. Yep. He goes, pick one channel. Yeah, I know. I got to stop streaming to one of them and stream to the other. But I'll tell you like this, X.com is blowing up. We got 27 people live streaming on X, and I think that that's a good start. And I'm going to continue to grow X and prioritizing X. If you're not following Brattleboro News, Planet Hank on X, make sure that you are. And you'll love it because I post all kinds of stuff that I never post on Facebook or YouTube or any other platforms. X gets a lot of my attention throughout the day. She goes, I literally grew up not even 1 mile from there. And everyone always flies around there, myself included. He goes, wait, what? X is fire? Of course it is. Of course it is. He goes, at least on YouTube, I can watch on TV and don't have to watch on my little ass phone. Yes, YouTube has some features to it that X does not have, such as, again, being able to pull the app up onto your television and watching in full 4K on the screen. That always is a big improvement. He goes, it's a better party when we comment together. 100%. He says, hell yeah. It's way more fun when everybody's in the same, social media platform. That's why Facebook has always been so good. Tons of people go on Facebook. It's always worked so well. You can go into the comments and you all comment together and everybody sees it and you can go wild. But we all know Facebook loves to cater to the people who are offended. I don't know why. It's ridiculous. Said, yo! Absolutely. There you go. Oh, what did you switch YouTubes? There you go. There you go. So let's play this video.
Hank live show and the Brattleboro News brought to you by PlanetHank.com. I am the most respected journalist in Vermont.
Of course. Fuck yourself, Hank.
Everybody appreciates me.
Fuck you, Planet A.
They love my content. Every single thing that I say and do is absolutely cherished.
Yo, fuck Planet Hank, yo. What the fuck?
By every single member of my entire community.
Fuck you, Planet Hank.
This place would be devastated without Planet Hank.
Fuck Planet Hank. There you go.
Everybody enjoys listening to me run my mouth.
Fuck Planet Hank, man.
Me filming them while they get arrested, while they're at their most vulnerable state.
Hank don't have no home yet. Fuck him.
All I do is I just pull up, point a camera at them, and voila! I'm an amazing artist. Everybody loves it. Make sure you never miss.
He's making me say this, guys. Fuck Planet Hank. What an asshole.
Any of my content, any of my live streams, you will regret every single shred of content that you missed.
Fuck Planet Hank.
Make sure to subscribe to my members only site for only $2. It's the greatest.
Fuck you, Planet Hank. Fuck Planet Hank.
Content. It's the very best platform, the best page. Planet Hank.
Fuck Planet Hank.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X.com.
Planet Hank rules.
Everybody loves me. Everybody. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves me. Even your mom loves me.
There you go. Perfect. That one's perfect. Where's you going today? Fuck Planet Hank.
Yes! Your mom loves me. Powered by chicken. Oh, snap. Power. The most wonderful snack food ever. Chicken. Dead birds. Eat them up. Powered by chicken. He says, I thought I saw one of the ones that I went to school with that was caught sleeping in someone's bed. Yes, Cherie. Okay, so I've got an announcement to make for everybody now that we're popping. We got so many people watching in here. Screw Facebook, man. We got 65 people between the two platforms, so we're going to make our announcement now. Okay, and here it is. I will be speaking at the Windham County Republican meeting. It says, meeting speaker Hank Poitras, known as Planet Hank, has agreed to be our May meeting speaker. Hank will speak on the following subjects: crime and public safety, cancel culture, and how to support each other. Speaking followed by open discussion and questions. There will be several there will be meetings. Oh, as with the last meetings, there's pizza, drinks, dessert will be served. The meeting starts at 7. Pizzas get there at 6:45. Everybody needs to show up at the church on Burge Street. It says when? May 21st, 7 p.m., 28 Burge Street, church building in Brattleboro. So that's fire. Basically, I am the speaker. I have the mic for an hour, and I'm going to talk about everything, okay? I'm going to talk about my expertise, which is crime in the town, the drug culture, everything that people basically have been captivated with since I started doing this, because they were all having these problems swept under the rug. When the progressives have the opportunity, they will sweep all the problems under the rug and justify bad behavior. Oh, no, there's no drug problem. Drugs are everywhere, man. It doesn't matter. That's a disease. That's not a crime. That's a disease. Oh, whatever. Everywhere has problems, so that's no big deal. Yeah, it is. Dude, we don't want our nice town and our nice communities and our way of life and our quality of life being destroyed because you guys want to have nonprofits and be social workers and whatever. They all are in a situation that they profit from bad behavior and, drug abuse, crime, mental health crisis stuff. And it's ridiculous. It's getting out of control. He goes, you need Fuck Planet Hank t-shirts. Sell them to liberals. He says, chicken. What did she say? She goes, that you're a loser? What? He goes, wait, you're not speaking about BK asking for Jeff Bush. He goes, everyone will be there at 6:45. That's right. Everybody show up, 6:45. Get it. He goes, basically that. So I really like going to these meetings, the Republican meetings. Everybody's afraid to be a Republican in Vermont because they think, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. You're not going to get in trouble. You're going to be in there with a bunch of people and you're going to hear things that you want to hear. People speaking with intelligence and common sense, not emotional outbursts and calling everybody Nazis. That's literally what we're dealing with from leftists. And there's so many leftists that they get away with saying whatever they want. They don't even have to make any sense. They just say whatever and yeah, man. Yeah, Trump's a Nazi. Everybody's a Nazi, a brown shirt. Dude, you're just a misogynist, bro. And like that's it. They don't have to have any substance. They don't have to back it up with facts. Their results are terrible. That doesn't matter. They all think they have this moral high ground against every issue and everything in the world. And what they don't realize is that they are being manipulated by pharmaceutical companies that make Narcan, that make methadone, that make opioids. They have been manipulated every step of the way, and they refuse to see that. They want to blame everybody else. They don't want to understand that compassion is a drug, and they're all high as fuck on it. And it's like the same thing as green labeling. Like, you ever been to the grocery store and you look at like one pack and it's got bright colors, it's like red and stuff, Coca-Cola, and then you see like this like earth-toned green label, and somewhere in your brain you're like, this one's more healthy. Could be the exact same stuff inside the package, but the green earth tone one is healthy. And so you do that with these nonprofits that they're like, oh, NRA is bad. Everybody's like, NRA is bad. That's a bad nonprofit. And then you go over to like Groundworks Collaborative, bro. And it's like, oh, they're helping. Like, dude, it's the same scam. It always has been. They are getting money to fucking pay themselves like $140,000 at the top to work at the homeless shelter. And inside that homeless shelter, they are just becoming activists and lobbyists and trying to influence others to vote for the crap that they want so that they can perpetuate the cycle. It's ridiculous. He goes, most of the people in Brattleboro make as much sense as tits on a bull. She goes, so is the meeting in the basement level or the upper level? I don't know. She goes, bunch of insecure losers that hate their own lives. Pretty much. And then, so one of the things that happens is we have needles all over our community. And I'll be talking about this. We have needles all over our community because our needle exchange programs here have decided to go, oh, well, we don't need to do the exchange part anymore. It used to be like 1 for 1. You bring in a needle, you exchange it, you get a clean needle, get the fuck out of here. Now, they're just like, whatever. And now you just get any amount of needle and you just get it they just give you needles. You don't got to bring the old ones in. So now all the needles are thrown all over town. Thousands of used, dirty, diseased needles are being thrown all over our town. And these nonprofits that were supposed to have a needle exchange program, like when they get established and approved in the community, they say all this crap. And then as soon as they're in, all of a sudden it starts changing and they get lazy and they get ridiculous and then it escalates into nonsense. Now they literally give out drug usage containers with chore boy and crack pipes and little waters and needles and everything you need to get high as fuck on crack and heroin and fentanyl. And then they throw the needles all over town. They can just go get new needles at any time they want for free, and crack pipes and everything else. And that pisses me off, and it pisses a lot of other people off. He goes, this is why I stopped going to church in Brattleboro, because there was needles all over the front yard. Literally. It's crazy. She said, I eat crackers in bed. You better not. First of all, you better fucking not. Okay? You better not be eating no crackers in bed. Okay? That's racist. It goes, I stopped going to church because there's needles all over the front yard. Straight up. And so I will be discussing this further, but why did I bring that up? What am I talking about there? Why are people so upset about this drug problem? Like, the liberals would want, like, they're not harming anybody. Like, what's the problem, man? They're not harming. It doesn't do any problem to have them have a disease, man. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Okay? What difference does it make if someone's high and you walk past them? Where in the community is this causing a problem? And so pay attention to this next video. This is exactly where it's causing a problem. This is what the problem is, okay? And this story is absolutely heinous. It's disgusting.
Breaking news.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com. Tonight's story comes from Route 5 in downtown Putney, Vermont, where Vermont State Police were responding to a call of a car versus pedestrian crash in front of Rod's Towing and Repair. This footage is graphic and may not be for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Vermont State Police and Putney Fire Department responded with several first responders and found an elderly woman who had been run over by a Jeep headed north on Route 5. The vehicle crossed the yellow lines and the southbound lane, passing into the crosswalk where he struck a woman who was walking with a walker. First responders rushed her to Brattleboro Memorial Hospital, where she was transferred to UMass to be treated for serious injuries. According to witnesses, the vehicle operator and passengers attempted to flee the scene on foot, but several locals verbally warned them that they would be caught, and they returned. The driver was screened for impairment by BSP and put into handcuffs and taken in a state trooper SUV. His charges will be posted when press releases are made available. I was able to get a statement from a witness on the scene from Rod's Towing and Repair.
So we were just here at work, and the Jeep comes in from Route 5, struck the lady, tried to keep driving. So then I ran over to go check on her. She was face down in the ditch. As we were checking on her, we also noticed that 3 individuals got out of the Jeep and started walking away. At that point, my sister and I started yelling to them for them to come back, and we waited for police to show up. The gentleman that was driving the vehicle, they ended up giving him a sobriety test, and he got taken away and handcuffed.
There have been several serious accidents lately. Please, everyone, drive safely. Let's hope this woman is able to make a full recovery. I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com.
So there you have it. And like I said, that should infuriate you. My boy right here writes, dozing off on dope, fuck those pieces of shit. Seriously. Dude, that woman is in a coma, or is paralyzed. Her whole body is paralyzed forever now. paralyzed. Okay, she was like old as hell, like this little old lady, and everybody knows her in Putney. And that Jeep, you just see it goes right over. And thankfully, kind of for the video sense, she was right behind the bush, so you don't see her get taken out. But they, and they're high as hell. I know all of those kids. You see them flipping the camera off. They don't give a fuck. They were busted with drugs. They tried to get out of the vehicle and run away. If people weren't yelling at them, basically chasing them down the street, they would have took off. Zero remorse. Not a care in the world. One of them got in my inbox, John Pease, and started running his mouth and bitching and acting tough. And I was like, in my standard response to people acting tough is, bro, I would love to see you try to back that up. That ain't never happening. Not with freaking Hank, dude. You ain't backing that up on no dope. You are not. Absolutely worst mistake you could make would be to try to fuck with me on a physical level. You ain't backing that up. Okay? So get out of my inbox whining, because when I see you, you're done. Okay? Totally ridiculous. She goes, another wreck on Monday down the road, same thing. Like, dude, all these junkies are getting into their cars and driving down the road and flipping their cars, running over old ladies, rolling, smashing into other cars, making it completely dangerous, okay? That's the danger. So when people are like, what does it matter, man? What does it matter if they're just on fentanyl? They're getting into cars. They're completely negligent. They're wandering into traffic. They're throwing needles around the town. They're drawing gang member drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, and gun dealers into town. That is the problem. Very serious public safety issues. This is not like it. No, it's not, Ned. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay? And Governor Scott, we needed that veto. Okay? You needed to veto this safe injection site. Burlington is already in shambles. Their police force is at like 60% of what it should be. They have like 75 officers. They're supposed to have like 130 for the population up there. Like, what? Okay? They can't take another blow to public safety. The town, they're going to lose control of the town is what's going to happen. People who need to call the police, they call and the police don't show up. And here's the thing, that people just take police officers for granted. When this gets worse, officers will quit their job and go to a place where they are supported and respected and have a budget and equipment to keep them safe and coming home to their families. They get sick of this. We're in Vermont. Oh, everything you do, you're a piece of shit cop, and we're gonna get you fired, and we're gonna sue you, and all that crap. The more defund the police nonsense, the more they try to bust people and then they get let out the next day, the more the town shits on them and takes their budget away, and they've got broken gear, and you can't even get anything done, the less likely it is for an officer to stay in this community. They could go right down to Mass and get on the state troopers and have a great job, or go over to New York. They get a great job. We need cops to want to work here before we lose control. Now, one of the things about Vermont, we are broke as fuck, and we have no opportunity here. And it's super expensive to live here, especially in the winter when it's fucking freezing, okay? So we can't take a risk, a huge risk on this gamble for weird safe injection sites and political nonsense that the progressives will just lead us off a cliff. We will not be able to bail this state out with our budget, with our taxes. It will not happen. We can't afford it. Say all hell breaks loose and 300 new drug dealers come into town, and 500 more homeless people come in here and start robbing everybody. We don't have the jail cells. We don't have the space in jail. We don't have any cops. We don't have any way to stop that from happening. We can't just, and let's go buy more stuff. We can't do it. We are already tapped. He goes, pretty soon people are going to take the law into their own hands in Brattleboro and other areas, and it's not going to end well for everyone. And that's true, is that if we have a breakdown in public safety, people are going to start to defend themselves and it's like, dude, that's what you guys want is chaos? It's ridiculous. Red states are about to leave you all in the dust, 100%. 100%. He goes, Massachusetts is the same way. The only difference, and I agree, Massachusetts is full of libtards. The only reason that it would be considered different at all is that their budget is massive. Massachusetts is rich. Vermont is broke as fuck. Okay, so when Massachusetts fucks something up, they can go down there and hire and fix it and do whatever. They have tons of cops. They have prison systems. They have all kinds of infrastructure. Vermont, we're already at capacity in the jails. Our court systems are backlogged, and we haven't even gotten started at the party yet. Wait till they start some new programs, safe injection sites, and thankfully we have. So we voted in the state of Vermont. Let me see if I have one. Yep, I got one right here. We voted in the state of Vermont for Article 3 this past election, March 4th. And that says, Article 3, everybody voted yes. And I'll read it out loud. It says, shall the town of Brattleboro vote to advise the state legislature that any establishment or operation of any overdose prevention center, also called a safe injection site, in the town of Brattleboro be subject to an affirmative vote by the town of Brattleboro. Okay, meaning before they can build a safe injection site in Brattleboro, it's supposed to go that we're going to have a town-wide vote so that we can be like, yes, we want one, or no, we're not. My whole thing is I don't trust any of them. I don't trust the legislature. This is Bernie Sanders land. They're going to find a way to backdoor us. I guarantee you they find a way to backdoor this shit, and we end up with one of these crazy liberal fucking situations where everybody doesn't want it, but we get it anyway. And when it all backfires, what are they going to do? Ask for more funding, more money. Oh, it's not that socialism. It's different this time. Oh, well, that safe injection site didn't work because we didn't have enough funding. All we need now is $2 million, and we'll be able to solve all your problems. He goes, Bernie has your back. Yeah. No way. Nobody believes that, really. Nobody in Vermont even believes that. Bernie sucks. He's never even here. The dude's never even here. What the hell does he do? I've never seen him once in my life. I've been here for how long? Never seen him. So, again, I'm going to throw it up. Windham County Republican meeting next Wednesday, May 21st, 7 p.m. on Burr Street at the church. Come see me speak. I'm going to be talking about all of this. I'm going to be wearing my finest suit. I'm a great public speaker. If you've never had the opportunity to watch me speak, get out there, support, and we need to start to stick together. Republicans, centrists, libertarians, whatever you are, you need to come together and start to feel accepted, that you can say and be part of, and you're not going to get canceled. Like, dude, you can be part of the group. You can come out and say, hey, I think this, I think that, and other people are going to be there. And so it's very important, like I said, to stick up for each other and actually say what you believe and stick up for the quality of life of our next generation of kids that are growing up in this freaking drug crisis. She said Becca sucks too. Oh, don't even get me started on Becca Balin. Oh, my God. I can't even get started on her. My head will explode. Like, I've had enough already, and I've lost my voice. He goes, someone drove by Kermit's. They saw him taking it from a donkey. Oh, my God. I hate them. Those are the people, the crazy ass people. And those are the people that you see over in the groups on Facebook whining about me and coming up with all this nasty crap because they know that what I'm saying is the truth and they are threatened by it. They have to attack me, try to attack anybody who speaks up. And I'll tell you like this, bring it. Trash me out. I've already been trashed out. 11 newspaper articles. Go ahead. My documentary, my reality show, all my content is better than all of that. And it is what it is. But I'll tell you like this. I'm going to throw on a little. I'm going to throw this up. This is the best part of the show. What I want is everybody to put 3 dog emojis up in the chat. I need 3 people to put 3 dog emojis up on the screen somewhere. I better see 3 dogs go up. And when that is completed, I will let this boy Marco have his milk phone. Yeah, there they go. We got it coming on multi-platforms right here. Twitch, YouTube, chicken. I need some more X dog emojis put on the screen. He goes, that's Marco with a chicken mask on. Come on, X. Where are you at, Xers? All you over on X. I got 35 of you in the chat. I better see some of y'all put 3 dog emojis on the screen so that we can give this boy his milk bone. Oh, you can have it. Good boy. Good boy. The Planet Hank Live Show. Brattleboro News Recap Show. The greatest podcast in the state of Vermont. It's not even close. There is no competition. We are killing it. X is finally working because you can get some real people in there. The liberals have gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead. We can finally have a conversation without having them try to cancel you and attack you and destroy everything that you built. I'm so sick of listening to them. Planet Hank Live Show, the greatest, very best live. Thanks for watching. I love doing this show with everybody. Share it up, share the links up, and follow me on X, and stay tuned.